Hey guys, my name is Scoby. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a cartoon effect to any image in Adobe Photoshop. On screen right now you can see a quick example of this. In today's video I'm going to be showing you step by step how to do everything. Let's jump right into this. So the first thing you need to do is have Photoshop open and just open up any image inside Photoshop. The first thing we're going to be doing is coming down to our layers panel, and what we're going to be doing is creating two duplicate copies of our original image. You can do this by simply clicking Ctrl and J, which is going to create a duplicate of the layer we currently have selected. So what we have right now is two layers, layer 1 copy and layer 1. What I'm going to be doing is double clicking on the name for the first layer, and we're going to be naming this lines. And we're going to be naming our second background layer background. What we're going to be doing first is selecting our top or lines layer. Then from here what we're going to be doing is coming up to the top left of our Photoshop. We're going to be clicking on filters. We're going to be opening up the filter gallery, and then we're going to be brought to this screen. What I recommend doing is coming down to the bottom left of this window, clicking on the percentage, and we're going to be clicking fit to screen so we can see the full image inside this window. From this point, we're going to be coming over to our filters on the right hand side. We're going to be opening up the artistic folder, and we're going to be selecting the poster edges effect. Now what this is going to do is set up a semi-cartoon comic book effect feel on top of our image. But what we're going to be doing is adjusting some things to make it really feel like it is a cartoon drawn line or kind of a comic book effect. What we're going to be doing is affecting and adjusting our edge thickness, edge intensity, and posterization effects to adjust our image. So the edge thickness is going to determine how thick our edges are in this image. The edge intensity is going to determine how much edge intensity is shown up in the image. And the posterization is going to affect the color specifically in the background to determine how much posterization is used here. So what you do with these settings really depends on what you were trying to do. In this case, what I'd recommend setting the posterization is somewhere between 1 and 3. At least in my image, 2 seem to work best. The edge thickness I'd recommend turning around to 4-ish in this case. As you can see, it really softens out the image. And the edge intensity I'd recommend turning down a little bit. Somewhere between 2 and 4 worked for me. In this case, a 4-3-2 settings worked, but I recommend playing around with it to see what works for your image. Depending on the effects you're trying to make, it really depends on what you're trying to do. From this point, all we need to do is click OK, and then our image is going to be saved with these settings. From this point, what we're going to be doing is removing all color from the background of our image and just keeping these lines and dot effects. To do this, what we're going to be doing is clicking on Image on the top left of Photoshop. We're going to be coming to adjustments, and then we're going to be opening up the threshold option, which is going to open up this effect. So as you can see, all the color is instantly gone from this, and all we have is some black around our image. So what we're going to be doing is lowering the threshold to really give more detail and lines to our effect, to really give a nice cartoon effect. So what I'm going to be doing is just decreasing the intensity, and this I'd recommend playing around with to see how much detail you want in your image. What I'd recommend is somewhere between 20 and 70 in this case. Something like 57 seems to give a nice little bit of detail, but in this case I think it looks really good. What I'm going to be doing is clicking OK, and then our effect is going to be saved here. We're going to be coming back to this a little later and blending it into our other layer. What we're going to be doing is coming back to our layers panel. We're going to be hiding our lines layer, and we're going to be selecting our background layer that we previously duplicated. From this point is coming back to our filters option on the top left, coming back to our filter gallery. Once again, we're going to be selecting the zoom to fit to screen, and we're going to be selecting the poster edges again. In this case, we're going to be completely removing the edge thickness and the edge intensity, and we're only going to be using the posterization effect. In this case, like I said, I'd recommend playing around with this to see what you like. In this case, 2 is the best effect for this image for me, but really depends on the image that you're using. What we're going to be doing again is clicking OK, and we're going to have our image like this. So what we're going to be doing from this point is adding some saturation to our image to give it a bit more brightness. We can do this by coming down to our layers panel on the bottom left. We're going to select our image. We're going to be clicking on the adjustment layer panel right here, and I'm going to be adding a hue and saturation. So from this point, it's going to open up the hue and saturation options. So what we're going to be doing is increasing the saturation until we get a nice bright popping image. So we're going to be turning it up something around 30 in this case is good for me. And what I'm going to be doing is selecting our hue and saturation layer. I'm going to be holding the Alt button, and we're going to be coming between our layers, and we're going to be adding a mask, which is going to create this drop down effect, which means this hue and saturation layer will only affect the layer nested below it. In this case, which is our background color layer. So it's only going to affect that image. Now from this point, we're going to be selecting our background image one more time. We're going to be coming to our adjustment layers option, and we're going to be adding a brightness and contrast. What we're going to do is select our brightness and contrast effect, and we're going to be reducing the contrast on this image by about 20 or 30, basically to soften out the colors. As you can see, it really creates a more cartoony softened effect, but it still keeps our colors bright enough so it still keeps the intensity. From this point, we're pretty much done. What we're going to do is show our lines layer one more time. We're going to be making sure our lines layer is selected, and we're going to be changing the blending mode from normal to multiply, which is basically going to overlay our lines effect on top of our other image that we just created to create this nice cartoon blotched effect on top top of our image. And as you can see, it looks really good. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, check out the other videos on the channel. I'm going to be leaving a link down below to my PayPal if you found these videos helpful and you want to support me. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, as always, keep it saucy. Peace.